comes to Leah politics. Now, nurses in Mombasa County have threatened to down the tools over delayed salaries and allowances. They've issued a one-week ultimatum for the county government of Mombasa to effect the payments or else they down their tools. And Tobias Chanji is right there for us. Tobias Chanji, good morning. Kindly talk to us about this pending strike notice.
COVID-19 continues to bite. Nurses who are the frontliners are lamenting of delayed salaries and also risk allowances. We'll be speaking to the Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Nurses Coast Region Branch, Peter Maroko. Maybe we'll just delve on this matter and tell us what are some of the issues that are raising this time, especially now that we need them to so as to curb the spread of COVID-19 in Coast Region and also Mombasa County as a whole.
Yeah, so I said my name is Peter Maroko. I'm the branch secretary in Mombasa County. Yeah, we are here today actually because the county government of Mombasa has not been able to pay salaries for the month of May. And actually, they've not given us any tangible reason as to why they are unable to pay salaries, nor have they given us a way forward on or when they are going to pay the salaries for the month of May. So we are pressed enough to actually now come over and actually give our statement on this issue and demand that Mombasa County actually pays the salaries the next time possible. The soonest time possible they can do this so that they can actually enable our members actually to meet their daily needs of, as they are coming to work. You see, this is the 12th of June and there are no salaries. We are really pressed too much because it's now becoming as a norm for Mombasa to actually delay salaries without any explanation, without any communication, without engaging us. They only come to actually give memos when we start complaining, and we are really tired of this because our members are on us. And therefore, based on other issues, again, Mombasa has failed to actually implement. We are giving them actually up to 1 week for them to actually pay the salaries for all workers. And actually, it's not only nurses who are here. We are all workers involved. All other unions are also involved. They have not only been able to be here. Otherwise, we are all together, and we are pushing for the county government of Mombasa to implement, among others, promotions and redesignations. This thing we have talked for how long here last year, and they have not been able to implement just because we don't have a county public service board. And two, we're also asking the county government of Mombasa actually to also comply with the SRC recommendation that the health workers be paid emergency risk allowance for COVID, which again they have not really given us any information on when and why they are delaying to pay these allowances. Other issues are actually, and they are aware that there are a group of employees, especially nurses and clinical officers and other cadres, that were employed in 2015 and they were not entered into any pension. I've communicated this for so long, and it's now time for the county government of Mombasa actually to actually comply, and actually with a court order that was issued on March 2016 that required the county government of Mombasa to enroll all employees who are employed in that year into a pension scheme of their choice, which again, so far, as I've said, they have not been able to enroll any of those members into that pension. Therefore, as I've said again, is that we are giving a notice that if they are not going to pay salaries and implementing other issues, as I've said, for the next one week, we shall issue a strike notice, and we will not care whether we are in a crisis. We'll call our members out, we'll boycott our workstations until that time when the county government of Mombasa will comply and address the HR issues as they are here in Mombasa. Yeah.
Previously, when things were good, maybe which dates were you getting or receiving your salaries?
Yeah, salaries have always, we have an agreement since 2014 of when we had so many crises here in Mombasa. We agreed that salaries will be paid on 5th of every subsequent month, which is not materializing. And therefore, we feel that they have really negated their duty for not complying with that agreement. And actually, the law says that the salaries should be paid when they are due. and every salaries therefore are due every end of the month, and therefore every employer should actually pay before even 30th elapses of every month elapses.
Thanks a lot, sir. Well, that is Peter Maroko, the Secretary, Kenya National Union, Kenya National Union of Nurses Coast Branch, just giving an ultimatum of a week. If the county government of Mombasa will not do anything, then as he says, they'll be downing their tools. This happens even when we've had so many cases of COVID positive in the entire county of Mombasa. We're talking about over 500 people who've tested positive for now. And so they're saying the government has to hear their cries. And if this payment will not be done, then the work will also not be done. Back to in studio.